How's it going, everyone? It's Dam Studio here with another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to achieve the scory, bloody text effect. It's super simple to do. I'm going to condense this into the shortest amount of time as possible, so let's jump right into it. Alright, so let's go step by step on how I made the text look like this, right? It looks like blood. It's a pretty cool effect. So we'll start from the beginning here. I've got my chainsaw and I was like, okay, I want the blood to basically be on the blade. I want it to look like it's dripping off. I grabbed this font called Facelift and I typed in Dam Studio there, and then I brought the font down over top and I enlarged it and I played around with it until it was the shape of the actual chainsaw blade. Take your text layer, go down, rasterize it, and then go up and grab your what's this tool called again? Polygonal lasso tool. And then I went and I would just grab each letter, copy, delete, paste, and then I would just enlarge and move everything around until it was the shape that I wanted. So after playing around with the text, this is what it looks like. And then from here, all I do is I grab the text layer with all the pieces of text I've cut out. I go up to opacity and I just turn it down to something really low, but so that I can still see the text underneath. And then I create a new layer over top. And then I grab my brush tool. I go to the top here. I make sure it's on hard round brush. I make sure my flow and opacity is at 100%. And I just thin it down just so it's something a little bit smaller like that. And let's make sure we're using the color white. And then I just draw over top, kind of how I want it to be. So like add the little blood drips and stuff. And you basically just draw it out. I'll just do a quick rough little sketch here. And you just go around, make it very round looking, so it kind of looks like blood. And you just do this for all of the letters here. And then essentially, once you've drawn all of the letters out, you're going to have something like this here. So once you draw everything out, I'll show you an example. The way that you fill something in with color, so fill in these letters with the white so it's not just the edges, is you go over to your toolbar here, you go over to paint bucket tool, and you just select the inside between the lines and make sure all of your lines are connected, because if you don't and you go to press the paint bucket tool, it's going to actually apply to the whole canvas because of this spacing here. So make sure that's connected, and then you'll be able to just fill in your text like that so it's solid color. Okay, so I've got my text here. The real trick with giving it that illusion of like it looking like blood, like it's kind of three-dimensional and it has like that kind of like depth and glow to it, is you want to use bevel and emboss. So what I did is I take my text layer here and then I simply just put a bevel and emboss on it. Bevel and emboss is under the effects panel here, and it'll be this one right here. So in bevel and emboss, what you do is you essentially just play around with it until it looks like, you know, what you're going for. What I did is I just did inner bevel because I wanted the bevel to apply to the inside of the text. And then I went to depth and I started adjusting it to a point where it looks like it's actually doing something. And then you can play around with the size, but I kept it something subtle, so it wasn't too much. And I didn't do anything too crazy for this layer. And then what I did, I just grouped this layer here, and then I applied effects to the grouped layer itself. So I did another bevel and emboss, and on this bevel and emboss, what I did is inner bevel technique, smooth, and I played around with the depth a little bit. But the real trick, there's something called gloss contour, and gloss contour basically affects the way the bevel works, and you can get it to do a bunch of different stylistic effects. For the sake of this blood text, I really felt that this one here really gave it that sort of like that shine and that sheen that it kind of has, and I thought it made it look really cool. And then I also threw on a little inner glow. So without the inner glow, that's what it looks like. It still looks pretty cool, but I felt like the inner glow kind of made it look less sharp. Kind of, yeah, just how I feel like blood would kind of look. And I just adjusted the choke and the size there till it was something I was happy with. I also played around with the contour as well. You can get some pretty cool things out of just messing around with the contour, but just definitely do that to taste. And essentially, that's how you get this style of text. It's really simple. Just drawing out your text, filling it in with the paintbrush tool, and then just playing around with a bevel and emboss. That's really how you get the kind of the light to hit it differently and get that kind of 3D dynamic to make it look like, you know, it's kind of jumping out and more realistic. But yeah, a really short tutorial for you guys today. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. I'm going to be posting a lot more. Yeah, it was a pleasure. And until next time, peace out.